What if I told you? History isn't boring. It's just been cleaned up. The real stories? They're chaotic, ridiculous, and sometimes unbelievably stupid. From emperors losing their minds to entire wars starting for no good reason. This is history without the filter. And if you want the facts they don't teach, subscribe now. Because once you see this side of history, you can't unsee it. This is the history dude. What if I told you? Some of the most successful war strategies in history sound like they were invented as a joke? Like pretending to be dead, using cats as weapons, or setting your own animals on fire. And somehow, they didn't fail, they won. Because here's the thing about history, it's not always about being the smartest. Sometimes, it's about doing something so ridiculous, no one sees it coming. Let's start with something that sounds like it should never work. Year 860, a Viking leader named Hasting wants to conquer what he believes is Rome. Problem is, the city won't open its gates, so instead of attacking harder, he decides to die. Well, not really. He pretends. His men carry his dead body to the city and say he converted to Christianity before dying. Please let him be buried inside. And the city goes, yeah, that seems reasonable. So they open the gates, bring the coffin in, start the ceremony. Everyone's gathered, nice and quiet. Respectful. And then, Hastings jumps out of the coffin, sword in hand, absolute chaos. Gates get opened, city gets taken, all because they trusted a funeral. Now you'd think that's peak stupidity. But no, it gets worse, or better, depending on which side you're on. 525 BCE, Battle of Pelusium. The Persians are fighting the Egyptians. Now here's something important. The Egyptians really love cats. Like, sacred animal level. So harming one? Not an option. And the Persian king, Cambyses II, knows this. So what does he do? Does he bring stronger weapons? Better tactics? He brings cats. Puts them on the front lines. Some accounts even say he painted cats on shields. So now the Egyptian soldiers are standing there like, we can't attack. And that hesitation, that tiny moment of, that's all Persia needed. They win because no one wanted to hurt a cat. At this point, you might be thinking, okay, these are just weird coincidences. But no, sometimes stupidity becomes engineering. During the First Punic War, Rome had a problem. They were terrible at naval combat. Carthage, experts. So Rome had two choices, get better at sea or completely ignore the rules. Guess which one they picked? They built something called the corvus, basically a giant wooden bridge with a spike. So when ships got close, they dropped it onto enemy ships, locked them together, and suddenly, it's not a sea battle anymore. It's a land fight on a boat, which is perfect for Romans because that's literally their thing. And just like that, they start winning at sea, not by becoming better sailors, but by refusing to be sailors at all. Now let's raise the insanity, because this next one sounds like a trap, and it kind of was. 52 BCE Siege of Alesia. Julius Caesar surrounds a city. Classic siege. Everything is going according to plan, until he hears something terrifying. A massive enemy army is coming to attack him from behind. Now most people would retreat, or panic, or, survive. Caesar does something else. He builds another wall, facing outward. So now he has one wall trapping the city inside, another wall protecting him from the outside army. He has literally trapped himself between two enemies, a Roman sandwich, and somehow it works. He holds both sides, wins the battle, and proves that sometimes the best plan is the one that sounds the worst. And just when you think we've reached peak madness, we haven't, because nothing prepares you for this next one. Battle of Delhi. Timur is facing an army with war elephants. Huge problem. Elephants are basically tanks. So what does he do? Does he avoid them? No. Does he outnumber them? No. He sets camels on fire. Yes, on purpose. Then sends them running toward the enemy. The elephants see flaming, screaming chaos, panic, turn around, and stampede back into their own army, destroying everything. And just like that, victory through flaming confusion. Now step back for a second and look at what just happened. A fake death wins a city. Cats win a battle. A bridge turned ships into land fights, walls trap 2 armies at once, and flaming camels defeat elephants. These aren't just strategies, they're insane ideas that somehow worked. And that's the real pattern. The reason these worked isn't because they were smart, it's because they were unpredictable. They broke expectations. They attacked fear, confusion, hesitation, not just strength. Because in war, the moment your enemy stops understanding what's happening, you've already started winning. And maybe that's the most uncomfortable truth of all. Some of the biggest victories in history didn't come from perfect planning, but from ideas that sounded completely ridiculous until they worked. So next time you think something is a stupid idea, just remember, history has proven sometimes stupid wins. Subscribe. Because the deeper you go into history, the less it makes sense, and the more insane it gets.